Hey everybody, it's me Henry. Today we're gonna talk about the difference between knowing and doing, and it can be summed up in a word. We call it as results. Let's get started. So what is this knowing-doing gap that affects 100% of all companies and their employees' results? It is a very simple concept to become aware, but easily misunderstood. It is reported that corporations spent over $60 billion in a year helping employees know more, but this hardly translates into an increase in effectiveness. Furthermore, this is perception that companies are more driven by the bottom line first versus the development of their employees. Now, let's think. The company is nothing without its employees. So why is it that companies spend so much money on the company but not the employees' personal development? Example like mindset? Well, first, let us all understand the knowing. Knowing comes from the intellectual part of our mind, conscious mind. This is where we have been conditioned to live our lives by. Knowing or knowledge will usually be the starting point of our growth. An everyday example of this is adults who attend college or employees who receive training. But knowledge in itself is just part of the solution. This is where the second aspect comes in. And next, doing. Doing comes from the emotional part of our mind, subconscious mind. This is where the person's habits, beliefs, and emotions are held. It is actually this part of mind that controls the doing. It is said that having all knowledge in the world is of no use if nothing is done from the knowledge. This is as simple as speaking the language or writing with your dominant hand. These are habits that were developed throughout the time. However, a discrepancy has been observed between knowing and doing. Take the example of always writing with the dominant hand. When you go to write with the non-dominant hand, you know how to, but it becomes really frustrating. Simply, you haven't developed the habits of writing with a non-dominant hand. What is it that makes us not to do something that we know from the knowledge? It is called paradigms. Paradigms is a mental program made out of a multitude of habits located in our subconscious mind and literally controls everything we do. Even though employees know how to do better, they don't because their paradigm has habits that in direct conflict with the knowledge they possess. The more we know, the less we do until we start to understand the knowing-doing gap and paradigms. And coming up next, we're going to talk about belief. Beliefs also come from the emotional part of our mind, programmed over time through a combination of situations, influences, environment, experiences, fears, and rational reasoning. For example, a person knows that smoking is fatal to their health may still go ahead and do it irrespective of his knowledge of its harmful effects. This is simply because his belief system would tell him that nothing has happened yet, so nothing will happen ever. And now let's take a look at this visual representative of knowing-doing gap. As you can see in the image above, there's a huge difference between knowing and doing. This warrants the question, is gaining more knowledge the actual solution? The surprising answer is no, because we haven't taken the belief system in account. This is actually how it works out. And using the image above, we must first focus on unlearning habits of seeking additional knowledge so we can avoid widening the gap. And start focusing on doing. Now, this incorporates a person's belief system. For example, professionals can argue on both sides on the requirement of a business plan to start a business. One professional could spend the next few months perfecting a business plan but never taking high impactful actions. The second professional ignored the business plan and went straight into implementation. Additional knowledge will only increase the gap. Another thing, the belief systems and doing are closely interlinked. In fact, it can be said that the action is implemented belief. We act out our beliefs and not our knowledge. Employers don't know what or why their best employees do best. Teachers don't know why some students fare so well. It all comes down to belief system, which actually is the truest indicator of potential. According to Henry Ford, the man who says he can and the man who says he can't, they're both usually right. As companies look to truly evaluate employees, understanding the gap can help implement training that is structured to increase employees' beliefs and not necessarily their knowledge. Regardless of how much knowledge a person has, it is a doing influenced by belief that controls the implementation of the knowledge. That's all for the sharing today. If you like this video and find values from this video, you gotta consider to smash the subscribe button and turn on all the notifications so that you're not gonna miss out any video just like this from this channel. And most importantly, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. I would love to read your comments and reply to your comment. And I hope to see you in the next video.